All right, so today we're going to work on color mixing. Now right here I have kind of like a basic color wheel with our 12 colors, and we have our primaries, and the primaries of course are the yellow, the red, and the blue. And to create all of the 12 basic colors we're going to be working with, we're going to be mixing these colors together. Now this may be a total review for some of you, maybe totally new for you, but I'm going to show you how to do this on Autodesk Sketchbook. Now of course it is true that when I go into my color picker tools I can find any single color that I want. However, with our landscape project that we're going to be working on here pretty soon, I do want everybody to be able to mix the paint on our little digital paper here. And unlike regular paint, we would mix it in a palette and then apply it to the paper. We're going to have to sort of be mixing everything in here, so we can create paintings in sort of a painterly style or kind of a smooth blended style, but all of the colors will be blended onto the paper. So the tool that we're going to be using for this little exercise right here is this one here, which is the synthetic oil brush right here. Okay, so again, we've got various things. We can create the larger size. We don't want it that large. The flow and the strength. Now the strength is something we're going to have to be playing with as we create these. Okay, we're going to start with our two colors here, the yellow and the red, and we're going to be mixing the oranges, which are the ones in between the yellow and the red. Okay, now to start out, I'm going to be starting with yellow. I'm going to raise my strength up quite a bit, because in real paint, using real pigments, you're going to use a lot more of the lighter color, and we're going to add the darker color to that in small amounts. So in order to make my small amount, I have to reduce my strength. So I'm going to start out with a lot of strength with the yellow and put that one in there, and then I'm going to go to the red. Okay, so I've got my brush selected. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Whoops, I got to go back. Made a mistake. And get my yellow. Okay, there we go. Okay, just kind of fill it in. Might need to shake quite a bit in there. Okay, so now I've got to add my red because it's my darker color. So I'm going to go back and choose the red. Don't cheat, don't grab orange. Okay, make sure you've got a nice, good, solid red in there. That one looks pretty good. Go back to my tool, and I'm going to slide the strength down a ways because I'm going to be creating yellow-orange, and yellow-orange actually is a orange that has very little red in it. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to add my red. I can add a little bit, so you can see there's a little bit, and you can see how I'm kind of tapping to add a little bit more, and then I'm moving around to blend it. And so that's pretty much my yellow-orange. Okay, now as I move on to the regular orange below it and then the red orange here, it just has more red into it. So I'll zoom in again, I'll go back to my yellow. Always start out with your main color. I'm going to go to my brush. I'm going to bring the strength up a lot again. Go back here. Paint my yellow. I might want a little bit more. Can always just add more strength to it there. That's pretty good. That might be a little bit on the blue side, but it's not bad. Okay, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick my red again. Go back into my tool, and I'm going to give it a little bit more strength this time. Kind of tapping it around, adding little bits at a time. I can zoom back out, and you can see that this one here has more of the red in it than the one on the top. Okay, so I just added more. So I'll do another one here to the next yellow. I'm going to go back. I'm going to bring my strength up quite a bit this time. And change my color picker, into a nice yellow. That looks like a pretty good one. Go ahead and fill it. Kind of lifting my finger up as I tap until I get quite a bit of the digital pigment in there. And I'm going to go back, change my color to red again. Back to the tool. I'm going to give it more red. Let's try it out with a 65. And then I'm going to keep tapping. Now that's quite a bit of red, but as I blend this around and I zoom out, you can still see that the one that I just did still has more yellow in it than the red. Okay, so we're just moving around the color wheel. Now the same thing is going to work with the blue and the red for the violets. Okay, this next one by the red is the red violet. to the left of that is going to be violet, and to the left of that is blue. And so we do the same thing, except this time we have to start with our lighter color, which is now red because the dark bluer color is the darker. So I'll just go in with my solid red. I'll do this one here, so I'm going to have quite a bit of strength. Solid red, lift up, keep kind of lifting up and tapping, so I got quite a bit in there. Go back, choose my blue this time, and I'm going to bring that way down to 17. And I'm going to kind of tap in there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Remember, just tapping adds a little bit more. I'm going to zoom out, and I've got my red violet, so it's got a lot more red in there than the blue. And I just keep doing the same thing. Okay, remember to, every time I move towards my darker color, I just have to go back in here and make sure I up the strength a little bit. All right, and of course the undo button is your friend if you make a mistake. Now, when you get to that, it's pretty much self-explanatory, just like the oranges. Now, when you get to the yellows, don't start out with the blue and then move toward the yellow. We have to start out near the yellow and move backwards toward the blue. So we're going to the left this time, counterclockwise. So I got to go back and I got to get my yellow again. So I'll find my nice yellow. That looks like a good one. Really, I'm just going to really get it up there to 100% this time. Zoom in a little bit. Kind of lift up, tap, lift up, tap. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to go change to the blue. Make sure this is way down here. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of the blue. This is sort of turned into a little bit of gray. I wonder if it mixed in with my... Okay. It's kind of a dirty green. I'm going to try that again. Move that over a little bit. Going to move my saturation up a little bit more. Actually, yeah, let's try that. There we go. Just need a little bit more. Okay, I've got my yellow green. Then I just go over to this one. Whoops. Change the color. Up the strength all the way. Make sure to kind of tap so we got lots of saturation in there. Go back to my blue. Bring my strength down. Maybe about to there this time. I'm just going to add a little bit more. To the more green. Now this one's a little bit strange. It's a little bit harder to work. So it looks like you're going to have to play with it, because I was a little bit more successful in the first one than the second one. All right. Oops. So when you're totally finished, make sure this one has more blue in it. Okay, make sure you save this thing. Make sure you export it to your photos. So I'll go ahead and share it, my shared album, and then you can paste it and attach it to the worksheet that will be followed with this activity.